Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is the day that we talk with Robin Shimizu and friends about our happy, healthy habits. So Robin's in the studio today. We are so glad to have her. I want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And to all of you watching on the replay, we just say hi. Make sure you put your questions in the chat. We'll make sure we get back to them. And meanwhile, I'm just going to introduce our host for the day, Miss Robin Shimizu. How you doing, Robin?
Morning, Terry.
Good
I'm doing
morning.
just fine. Today is Earth Day.
Mm.
You reminded me this morning.
That it is. It is Earth Day. And so I thought it would be good if we talked about air and blessings. I've been talking about air for a couple of weeks now because we do have a product that helps sanitize your air and sanitize your surfaces, the Air and Surface Pro. But also, I was listening to someone yesterday and they were talking about how blessed we are. That if you have spare change, you are blessed. You are more blessed than almost 2 billion people on the planet. If you can read, you are more blessed than 2 billion people on the planet. Oh my goodness. And then I was looking at a special, Robin, that came on talking about Syria and what we're leaving behind after the war and how their rivers are running with nothing but oil. Mm-hmm. There's no water available. And the people, of course, are contracting cancers from all of the toxins just in the soil. So if you are able to just walk around on clean soil today and breathe fresh air, it's a reason to be happy. It's a reason to celebrate the fact that you are healthy, and health is wealth. Because without it, we're going to be spending a lot of money on treatments for things. So I just wanted to acknowledge today that if you're breathing fresh air, this is a good thing and you need to be grateful today. And that should make you smile. So that's my happy, healthy habit. Oh, yeah. And I want to say that we do have a product. I have a product. Shameless. What do you call it? Talking about the fresh air, the personal fresh air device that you can hang around your neck so that if you're traveling, it protects your personal airspace because air is essential. It's just like water. We can't live without it, and we want it to be clean. We want to be protected. So that's
my understanding. I just want to expand a little bit about your air purifiers. My understanding about that air sanitizer or the air purifier that you would wear around your neck is what it does is it creates negative and positive ions around you, a bubble around. So what it's doing is it's cleaning the air within 2 feet around your person.
Personal space.
Yeah. So people are wearing that when they travel, when they go outside, when they go on airplanes, when they go places where we were starting to get out there. So that's a really cool device.
Yep. Like if you're going into a restaurant, you want to eat indoors, because we're ready to get out and about. You know what I'm saying?
We are.
Yes. So if you want that, you can just let us know, put something in the chat. We'll get you the information for where you can go and order that. Meanwhile, we need to calm our chaos, and we got someone in the studio, right? Who's our guest today, Robin?
We have Jill Weston, and she is going to help us learn how to hum and hold. Self-care. So that's going to be really fun. This is exciting because I think we actually going to do some physical stuff too, maybe. So
okay. Can you tell us a little bit about Jill?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Bring her on stage.
So Jill is a wonderful yoga nidra instructor and teacher, and she leads all kinds of meditations online. She has a business called My Breathing Space in Elk Grove, California, but she's literally worldwide now because she is on the internet and doing a lot of online, really neat online stuff. So she teaches meditation, breathing, yoga nidra, a lot of different modalities. And so anyway, with that, we love Jill to come in and be our yoga guru for the day. So with that, let's introduce Jill and bring her on from all the way from Elk Grove, California.
While she's coming on, I want you to know that Al is in the house, and he says the world is in chaos. I do my best not to get distracted by the world chaos. And Jerry Scott says, good morning. How you doing this morning, Jerry? We're so glad to have you in the house. And here's Jill. Hi, Jill. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I am doing well.
Good. I'm putting you in position so that we can.
And good morning to everyone who is watching live or on the replay. So good morning.
I will get us. We're going to turn it over to you.
Okay, that's what I was waiting for. All right. So I am always happy to be here on Biz Chicks with Robin and with Terry. If I'm a little fuzzy, I'm sitting back from the camera because we're going to do some hand movements. So thank you so much for joining. My name is Jill Weston, and I am from Breathing Space here in Elk Grove near Sacramento, California. But as the ladies mentioned, you can find me on my website, also on the Insight Timer app. And that's the #1 free app for stress and anxiety. And I have a couple sessions on there. I have an upcoming live session at 1:00 this Sunday, and that's Pacific Standard Time. So that's a little bit about where you can find me and what I do. I named my business Breathing Space, and I wanted to mention that because of what Terry said about breathing. And the idea is that when we create our breathing space, we are better within ourselves and we are better to other people. We mentioned chaos a little bit. When your own brain, when your own body, when your own nervous system is chaotic, there's absolutely no way that you can make good decisions. So whether that's business decisions, personal decisions, parenting, even making a decision, I tell people all the time, turn the volume down on the TV. Put your phone down, look at something different on your phone, drink more water, assess what you need to do. There's no way that you can in my mind anyway, there's no way you can make good assessments about what you need if your brain and your body is chaotic. So what I'm going to show you today is how to hum and hold. I always like little acronyms like that. So we're going to do a little bit of humming, which may be curious or weird for you. I'm going to ask you just to jump in and try. And then I'm going to show a compassion hold with your hands. And it's something I've done before on the show. So all of this, again, is to not bypass what is going on in the world. Because sometimes I have people that have sometimes been hesitant to come and take my classes, and they're like, I didn't know what yoga nidra was. I was scared of meditation. It didn't feel right for me. It feels like something that's against my religion, or I don't have time. I don't have money. Mindfulness and meditation are really different definitions, but for today, just understand whether we're talking mindfulness or meditation or breathing, you're coming back to yourself. That's all it is. You're taking a moment to come back to yourself to be better, to be more clear, to be in that flow state. So everything I'm going to show you today is scientifically backed. I tend not to talk a lot about the science because I like to show people and I want you to feel what it does in your body, but it's all scientifically backed, and it may be a little curious. And we're just going to take about 10 minutes, so it'll be a brief introduction to humming and holding. When you hum, it increases your oxygen. It can lower your blood pressure and your heart rate. It increases your lymphatic circulation. So we have lymph glands underneath our arms, behind our knees, our whole system, not our whole system, but within our bodies, we have a lymphatic system that pumps out toxins, that moves things in our body. So again, lymphatic is just a fancy way of saying, is your body circulating? Because if things are stuck, if toxins are stuck, if there's heaviness stuck in your body, you won't be at your best. Humming also releases melatonin, and some of you may be familiar with that. Melatonin is good for your sleep. It's a hormone. And if you're not sleeping, you're not going to wake up right. Oxytocin is the love hormone. I think of that as love and compassion. It's not meant in a sexual nature, but that ability, we have feel-good hormones in our body, and humming releases that. Humming also is known to create new neural pathways in our brain. So the brain does, it's kind of debatable how, but the brain has the ability to recover and sometimes replace damaged pathways. So if you know anyone who's had a stroke, for example, and they regain their ability to talk and to process and function, sometimes people who have dementia have partially damaged neural pathways. So all of that simply by humming. And if you're like, well, it's still not making sense. If you take your hand, I'll be careful with my mic. If you take your hand and put it to your throat, and whether you talk or breathe, you're not really feeling anything. Now, if you start to hum, and you can hum your favorite song, just hum anything, what do you feel? And Terry's always good about jumping, and you can just nod your head or do a thumbs up. Do you feel a vibration there?
Definitely.
Okay. So different than just breathing and talking, there's a vibration through there. Okay. And
Yes.
what that vibration does is it signals your nervous system, which affects the vagus nerve. But again, I'm not going to do all the science of that. With the time that we have, I want you to feel, because you're like, I don't know if I'm going to go around humming. The nice thing is you can hum in your car. You can hum at your house. I don't really worry too much about what people think about me, because I want my health best. So if I'm walking into a situation where everybody else is stressed, people are in line and they're grumpy, things aren't going well, if I'm going to hum a little bit or do some movement to make myself feel better, I'm really not worried what people are thinking about me. But if you are, just hum at home, hum in your car, go in another room and hum before you talk to your kids, go in another room and hum before you pick up that phone and make your business call, before you send your emails. So we're going to hum while we hold. And again, this is a lot of information in a quick time, but the hold is really good too, because it's something you can feel. So you're going to take both hands and put them on the side of your head. So I'm going to show you the motion. We're going to do the side of the head, right hand to the forehead, left hand to the back of the head, right hand down to your heart, left hand to your belly, and then your right hand comes back to the back of your head. What I'm going to suggest, Terry and Robin, can you mute while you're doing this, just because I think we're going to hear all three of our hand movements. So I'm going to take you through that again, but that's what we're going to be doing, and then we're going to add a hum once you get the pace of that. So both hands to the side of your head. And I like to use my fingers just a little bit to see if I want to give myself a little bit of a massage. You can close your eyes if that feels good. If not, no worries. Notice where your thumbs are. Your thumbs might want to cup the back of your head a little bit. Just notice how that feels. And then take your right hand to your forehead, right hand to the forehead, left hand to the back of your head, and cup the back of your head. Take an inhale and an exhale. Right hand down to your heart. Take an inhale, exhale. Left hand to your belly. Inhale, exhale. And then right hand to the back of your head again. You can drop your arms down. And if your arms or shoulders get tired, you can always drop them down. And this time we're going to do this again. And we're going to add the hum in there. So again, I'm going to ask you to be a little bit curious, even if you think it's weird. So you can, both hands on the side of your head. You can just hum and breathe in between. Right hand to the forehead, left hand to the back of the head. And feel your hands giving you a little bit of comfort. Right hand to your heart. Left hand to your belly. Right hand to the back of the head. Then both hands down. So you would repeat that several times. What I want to do for you to get the full feeling is go ahead and take both hands and put them wherever you think it's going to feel best for your body today. And I want you to hum for about 30 seconds or so. So put your hands wherever you feel called to. Yeah, across the heart, or yeah, a hug is good, absolutely. And then just give a little hum for about 30 seconds. Nobody can hear you. If you're at home, nobody can see you. Just see how that feels. And see how it may feel to hum a little louder, a little bit stronger. I might put a sigh in there. Take one more deep inhale if that feels okay for you. Drop your hands down and let out your breath. Take another inhale and let that exhale go. If you feel to, you can hum one more time as we bring Terry and Robin back. And we'll hear, let's check the time, we'll hear a little bit from them what that experience was like. And then if there's any questions, you can let me know. And again, that was hum and a hold. That was a compassion hold developed by Zabi. I just forgot her last name, but she does trauma work through yoga and breathing. And so that's a compassion hold developed by a therapist and also Peter Levine.
Okay. Cecilia says, I'm always humming. And Jerry says, that was amazing. Okay.
Thank both of you.
Wow.
Yeah, for Cecilia, I would be curious, Cecilia, if you notice, are there certain times that you hum? Is it more musical? Is it a method of self-soothing? So just maybe be curious if you notice when specifically that you hum.
You know something, wisdom is the principal thing, right? And I can remember my grandmother standing over the sink, worshiping, and then in between that she would just hum and rock. And how interesting. And I find myself doing that when I'm in my kitchen or
Yeah,
whatever.
music and sound is old. I should say sound more than music because it's different. But the sounds that are within our body and come out, I think have always been sacred in many cultures, many practices, whether it's
Worship or
prayer, worship. In the yoga world, we have mantras, which again, sacred, not from this generation or culture at all. So yeah, the humming comes from that, and again, it's known to actually affect the vocal cords and more importantly, the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve self-regulates and literally tells our body it's okay. So that's why the hormones are released, that you may sleep better, and it's a sense of self-soothing. And even the rocking, like our body, babies rock and want to be rocked. When we notice people with mental health issues, sometimes there's rocking the back and forth.
That's
and
true.
Again, I don't know the science. I think it's our innate body telling us what to do. Or, no one really teaches us that a hug feels good. Babies will automatically reach out for a hug.
They do.
And then I think we praise them for that, and they know that it feels good. But there's so much that's just natural in our body. So yeah, hopefully everybody that participated at the beginning would go, what's this humming thing? Like, what's that about? And then I see Cecilia has a comment.
She says, I always hear music in my head, so I am humming.
Okay, nice. Yeah, and you can also, real quick, you can do the hold separate from the humming. I just combine them, and we did a very short practice today, but I would encourage you to do that longer.
So Cecilia says you can never be mad or sad when you are humming.
Yeah, thank you, Cecilia. Yeah, so again, this is Biz Chicks, and I encourage, what I offer is always good for personal practice. But if you are, working too hard to get that email out, if you're having to pick up the phone and do, a sales or call to talk to someone and you're nervous, if you're frustrated, try the compassion holds, try the humming. If you're working on, I'm not great with social media. So when I sit down to do my social media, that's a time that I feel a little bit of chaos. So very practical to use any time in your life. And that's it for me as far as the hum and the hold.
Me, I love the laundry list of all the benefits of humming. And the last one, which was the new neural pathways. So I'm like, okay, this is another thing I can do with my mom. A really easy thing for us to do together, because I'm always looking for little activities for us to do together. She turned 98, last Friday, and she's just an amazing person. And it's like, okay, this is another one that I could use with my mom or kids. You could use it with kids. It's really cool, Jill. I didn't realize how humming was so healing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Very. I had no idea it had all these therapeutic applications. I'm just like, wow, what a sense of healing from such a familiar practice.
Yes. And something that our bodies are probably automatically doing in some way. And there's lots of research.
Learning how to hum Bad Bad Black Sheep. And you know what I'm saying? And I can remember my kids having to hum at piano lessons. They would, sing the notes and then they would hum the notes. And I didn't know all that was going on. I love the fact that it clears those pathways because, sometimes you just need to get the fog out. So this is a way of clearing the fog.
Yes. Yeah. And really just, again, it's, people worry about what is meditation, what is breathing, what is, mindfulness is what is going on for me right here, right now. And then you decide what you want to do with that. Sometimes you don't have to do anything. It's fine to be in your feelings, but when we don't know and we're foggy about that, sometimes we look at people and we'll say, what in the world is Robin doing? Can Terry even, can she see what she's doing? Does she know what's coming out of her mouth? And yes, we're all responsible, but sometimes I've worked with a lot of people who are like, I didn't even know I did that. I didn't know I yelled at you. I didn't know I did that. And we are so away from our bodies, but even a hand on the heart and feeling our heartbeat and humming, it's kind of like, oh, I'm right here. I'm in here. I'm feeling my body. I'm aware of my emotions. And what do I want to do with them? So so the first time I got on a call or was on the show, I was really, really nervous because I had not done a lot of online things before. Mm-hmm. I knew to self-soothe myself. I was like, I can feel I'm nervous. I can feel that I'm thinking all these things. And so I sat myself down. I don't remember exactly what I did. And I was just like, okay, what is going on for me right now? Wow, my heart beats really fast. Let me slow that down. Oh, I'm feeling like a little jumpy nervous. Sit myself still. So when I came on the first time, I could remember what buttons to push. I could remember to do a sound check with you all.
Yes.
Because if you're not in your body, you're drinking whatever you're drinking, you're eating whatever you're doing, you're saying whatever you're doing, you just don't have a sense of yourself. And so a lot of the practices that I teach, again, creating breathing space for you is creating that space to know what is going on with me right now and what do I want to do about it, if anything, rather than just walking through life, not knowing, not in that flow.
Wow. All righty then.
So thank you so much, everybody that, again, live or on the replay that's trying this. Again, that was a very quick practice. I recommend a good 5 or 10 minutes if you have it as a regular practice, but even 1-2 minutes of whether it's humming or a quick handhold this way before you go in a store, before you jump on a call. So thank you so much. And I am Jill Weston from Breathing Space.
Oh my
And
goodness.
we have something coming up, Jill, don't we, for this weekend coming up?
I actually have quite a bit, and it's curious with COVID and going online. I'm all over in a good way. So I actually have a Clubhouse presentation in someone else's room. If you're on the app Clubhouse, and you can reach out to me for any of this. I'll be on Saturday at 10 a.m. And then on Sunday, I have a 1 o'clock insight timer session, yoga nidra. That's a full 45 minutes of Calm Your Chaos. And then at 4 o'clock, I'm on Zoom in my own studio on Zoom. And then in May, people can check out, I have a couple events, including a Mother's Day event, which will be yoga nidra, and that will be on Saturday, the Saturday before Mother's Day. But the website, my website has all the information and the links. I haven't put Mother's Day up just yet.
Oop, Terry, we can't hear you.
We have your links in the chat, and we look forward to your Mother's Day event. I encourage everyone to follow Jill if you aren't already, and to also check her out on Insight Timer, and it's also over there in the chat. She has a wonderful website, Our Breathing Space, and we love Jill. We trust Jill, and we recommend her. Okay, so she is Biz Chicks endorsed. Okay, and Happy Healthy Habits approved. So who do we have next week?
Next week we have Shakunda Rogers.
Oh, okay. We look forward to that. Dr. Rogers.
It'll be really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jill,
And,
I was going to say, I want to thank Jill again. Yes. She is always so gracious when you ask her to be on the show. And we just love you, Jill. Thank you so much for your acts of kindness and for the gentleness that you bring to our lives to help us calm our chaos. I think we need that right now. If we ever needed it before, we need it now. Right, Robin?
Yep, that's true. And Jill, I wanted to thank you also for all that you do outside of Biz Chicks. You know, the Insight Timer, I can't plug it enough for you. I talk about it all the time. It is the best thing that you introduced me to because it's so accessible. You can get into Insight Timer any time of the day. It's just awesome. And how convenient is that? So I just find it, I go to it all the time.
Thank you so
Anyway,
much.
it's a plug. You guys got to check it out. Insight Timer.
And I know she has some stuff plugs for Jill today because we love her.
Yeah.
We are not ashamed of her.
Well, we want people to be healthy. And again, the Insight Timer app, and actually everything I offer, my standard is always, is it accessible? I don't want anybody to be afraid of the practices that I offer. Everything, is affordable. And the app is really good for that. And there's many other teachers on it. It is donation based, and I'm always grateful for the donations, but many different teachers, many different practices. It's kind of there's kind of no excuse not to use it because the app itself is free. And if you don't like my offerings, which I think you will, but if you don't like my offerings, there are literally, I think there's 20,000 teachers on there now. So very accessible, very affordable. You can use it anytime.
I like the fact that I'm doing yoga nidra with people all around the world. That is so cool to me when I'm laying there and I'm like, oh man, there was somebody in Burma that's in this class. So cool.
Yeah, I think it was three Sundays ago, I think we had 220 people on there, and people will always share where they're from. And there were countries that I didn't even know existed. There were people sharing very, personal things. There were quite a few people who had family deaths due to COVID. So they can write in the chat. I can't hear from them directly, but I'm always humble that people feel both safe with me and also feel the need to reach out. Like people are reaching out for a little bit of community and also this practice that's really helpful. So yeah, we had 200 and some people, and then one day you can hit a little heart icon to say that you like it. And we had, I think it was 805 hearts were sent of people just saying that this was helpful for them.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really a time to figure out your self-care, and that's why I want to come on today and offer. To me, it starts with understanding that you are worthy of your own compassion. Self-care is great as far as a massage, bubble bath, all of those are good, but like, what do you have in here for yourself, especially during these really difficult times?
You need to do a meme on that. You're worthy of your own self-compassion. Or your own, yeah,
from the inside out.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you, ladies. Do you have anything you want to close with today, Robin, before we sign off?
No, not really. No, not really. Just come next week, and we'll be with Secunda Rogers, and it'll be we haven't seen her for a while, so it'll be really fun to see her back, and yeah, so it'll be good.
Fantastic. Well, with that, we just want to thank everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. We want to thank Jerry and Cecilia. Carlos was here. Al was here. We just want to thank you all for tuning in and being with us today, and remind you that tomorrow we'll be talking tech and English with the Biz Chicks. It's okay. Come on over. We're not going to be all convoluted. You know, we don't like convoluted crap. That's one of the reasons why we love Jill and Brahman. So we'll see you here at the same time tomorrow for Talk Tech with the Talk Divas on Biz Chicks TV. Have a great day. I feel so mellow. Oh my gosh, can you tell? Okay. With that, remember to go to the front of your own line. Bye-bye.